What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. And I just watched a show called Barry Season 4, starring Bill Hader, of course, Sarah Goldberg, and Anthony Kerrigan. First of all, whatever happened to Lauren Ambrose? Okay, when I first started seeing her in these movies, she kind of reminded me of Daria. She had a Daria-ism in her. All right, the sarcasm, the quick wit, just cutting people off, just cutting into people with her words. Okay, and then as her career went on, I started to see that her acting range was a lot further than that. It was a lot stronger than just that sarcastic girl. All right. In 1998, she did at least 4 Law and Order episodes. Well, not all 1988, of course, but one stood out strong. An episode called Damaged. Okay. She played a disabled girl who was taken advantage of by 4 high school boys. And the whole trial was trying to figure out if she was actually taken advantage of or if it was consensual. Keep in mind, this is a very, very controversial episode, even for 1998. All right, so today it definitely wouldn't be able to air at all. There would be no chance that this episode would be able to air. It was a very good episode. It would keep you on your seat. The ending of the trial was crazy. Okay, the ending of how this all came out would drive this new era insane. All right, they would demand that the entire series be canceled because of this. Trust me. Wow. Then later on that year, Can't Hardly Wait came out. This is a classic teen comedy. Okay, this is back in the 90s when teen comedies were a thing. They were just all over the place, but this was one of the legendary ones. All right, and she was halfway the reason because it. The other half was Special K, and they were kind of like frenemies at the beginning. She just couldn't stand his character. Then her character gets locked in the bathroom with him throughout the entire movie, and they have to kind of be forced to become friends, real friends again. All right, and they really became friends. Trust me. Good movie. All right. Then in 2001, 6 Feet Under came out. This is one of those classic HBO shows from back in the day. It was a family of funeral home owners. Well, they didn't all own it, but it was the family. Okay. And she played the only girl within that family. And she was, of course, her sarcastic self, mean, quick-witted, used sarcasm as a shield to keep people out of her life. And, it was pretty much a defense mechanism for her within this show. Because she was a very insecure character, besides that sarcasm. All right. She made a big part of that show what it was for me. Then in 2009, Where the Wild Things came out. I never saw this movie. I never saw it. I read the book 1,000 years ago. Never saw the movie though. I don't think that she's an actual human in this movie. She's probably one of the voices of the creatures, because in the trailer it's just a kid, his parents, and these things. All right, so she's obviously one of those things. All right, my only battle within myself is I think I'm a little too old to watch this, so I don't know if I should try to watch it to see what she does in here. I don't know, but we'll see what's up with that. Then in 2012, Wanderlust came out. Now I know I said I would stop mentioning this movie, but there are so many actors and actresses wound up in this film that are also big deals amongst Hollywood itself that you just can't help bumping into this movie over and over again. And she plays this character in there that has a favorite line of mine that involves the word luminous. I'm not going to sing it like she sang it. All right. I've done some embarrassing stuff on here, but I'm not going to do that. All right. Let's just say that she was having a baby in front of our main character, and she decided to make it in a joyous event. All right. And she started singing Luminous for some reason, which made the scene epic. Very epic, very funny, unexpected, all that. All right. Then, hold on. This just in. She is in something recent. It's a show called Yellow Jackets. It's been out since 2021. All right. It also has Christina Ricci in it too. That I also said I didn't know what was going on with her, but she was in that show at the exact time that I did the video for her. So I apologize for that. Both of those girls are in this show along with some other characters that you might recognize from other things. All right. I'd never seen the show. That's probably why I had no idea of this, but I probably should find a way to watch it. All right. And now on to the movie. Barry, season 4. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, if first of all, I don't blame anybody who's of the normal stature who's not even watching HBO Max like that or HBO itself, because if you're not an HBO head, then like I said before, you have no clue that Barry even exists at this point. I don't think so. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this like they should. But this is a very good show. It's a very good series. Okay? I'm not saying what this last season is about yet, but so far, it's very good. Okay? And if you don't know by now, you're just not going to know ever. Okay? Just plain and simple. So you don't get penalized for this. You should. You should for not watching a good show like this. But I'm not going to penalize you. I'm going to let you slide. I'm going to let you breathe this time. All right? Barry, season 4. Of course, it's leading off from season 3, where Barry was tricked into coming to Mr. Cousineau's house. Cousineau snitched on him, got the cops involved, had Barry sent off to prison. And now it's showing how Barry's doing in prison right now. He's not doing too good, of course. All right, he's just entering. The security guards, they're giving him a good little friendly invite. That was shocking. I guess because he's a superstar of some sorts. All right, and so he's getting love from that, but everything else he's not getting too much love. Something from people outside that he's trying to call, get some kind of contacts, and no one is really reaching out or trying to comfort him at this time. All right, so Barry thinks, well, I have to do the incredible. I'm going to go ahead and just tell on some people and get out of here, and I'm going to get my girl back, and I'm gonna go into hiding if I can, and I'm going to complete the mission I was supposed to do before I got in there. And that's the whole premise of the show, or at least season 4. Positives. There was a change in the humor. All right. The humor for this season got a lot darker. Okay. It was already dark with the previous things that were happening already. But in this season, it just felt like it wasn't even ha-ha that much. More than just like, oh, that's so messed up. It made me laugh out of nervousness. It's a nervous laugh with this humor. Okay? It really is. There's a scene at the table where, No Hank, whatever his name is, No-Ho Hank, and his dude, they're walking around getting this new crew ready that they put together, trying to convince them to work for them. And they talk one at a time. Like you'll have Hank walk around and talk, and then he disappears out the screen, and then the other guy, Cristobal, comes in and he talks his section of the whole speech. And that was kind of funny because there were things they were saying that you didn't expect them to say. And then when you were trying to take all that in, the other one would come in. Okay? So that was a bit of comedic genius right there. Not even gonna lie. That was funny. That was kind of funny. And then later on down the line, there were other instances that happened, like Sally dealing with her parents and just how different her parents are towards her. Her dad is, of course, kissing her butt through the whole thing, trying to make things peaceful, while the mom was just not putting up with that crap. And I felt the mom on so many levels. And that just made me laugh. How Sally would have all these fits, and the mom just didn't care. She didn't care about any of that. She's used to her and her crap. So that's something I'll get into a little later about her character, though. A little later on. Another positive. The flashbacks. All right. And most of these were had by Barry, of course. I don't think he had some inner mental challenges that he was going through the other seasons, but these flashbacks are something different because now he's going back to his childhood with this, and you're seeing why he is the way that he is. Okay, and it just, of course, it involves Fuchs, and Fuchs was a friend of his dad, and his dad was in the military, and so was Fuchs. And for some reason, the dad put him under Fuchs's wing, like something was going on with the dad where he couldn't take care of Barry anymore or something. It didn't really get clear into that, but it was interesting, very interesting to see that, and then how it kind of bled into something that happens later on with this show. All right, I'm not gonna say too much, but it comes back. It comes back. Let's just say it comes back like deja vu in a different timeline. Okay. Another positive. The realization that Barry has father issues. All right. Now, of course, it was a little obvious in the other seasons with the way that he acts around Fuchs or just listens to everything Fuchs says. And then his whole encounter with Kusino. All right, and just how he took the Kusino so strong and quick, and he told Kusino he loved him in the last season. It was kind of weird and awkward, all right, because that's not your dad, and the Fuchs isn't your dad either. But he told Kusino he loved him, and in this one, it's very, very clear the way that he tries to talk to Kusino on the phone, the way he talks to Fuchs within the prison, that he's just looking for an older father figure to take the place of the father he could have had. Right? And that's so deep on a lot of levels. It gets a little weird. Not gonna lie, it gets a little weird at times seeing that. But at the same time, it's very understandable where his mental is and why he's so messed up in the head like he is. Very obvious. Okay. Strong scenes with that one. It's something very, you don't get a lot with even dark comedies like this. That whole depth of character and just exploring reasons why they tick the way they tick. Okay. Last positive. Sally's way of handling her stalker. Let me explain this. We all know that Sally is a very good actress as the character in her show, right? She's an aspiring actress. So later on in the show, spoiler alert if I need to put that up there. Spoiler alert, first of all. All right. You ready? Okay. Later on in the show, Barry and Sally are on the run. So they go to hiding in this desert area. I don't even think they mention where they're at, really. And Sally has to pursue this whole other lifestyle as a completely different person. All right. So she's wearing wigs and she's working at a diner. All right. This is completely something that's not her. But she's acting it off pretty well. Like, this is definitely not her. But she's making it look like she just changed into this whole other person. This grungy, just I've been through a lot, bitter waitress at a diner. While she's doing that, or holding that job down, there's another guy that works there who was, I think, relatives of the boss, who starts hitting on her, for lack of a word. And he's doing, unnecessary things, dreaming of her in his car. He's kind of stalking her in a real creepy manner. Stalking's already creepy itself. So he's putting a whole nother level on stalking. Okay. And they inform her of the situation that's going down. She takes it in. And at first it looks like she's, enjoying his company, enjoying how he's coming on to her. And she invites him to come and eat dinner with her. And then, it gets to the point where they start flirting with feet under the table and all this and that. And the whole time it seemed kind of weird because the way she was taking it in and responding to his flirting was robotic. But she was still just like letting him do what he wanted to do. Then when they finally get alone, you think something's gonna happen, and something else happens. And that was just something that was premeditated the whole time by her, I believe. But that was just crazy how she handled it. I've never seen somebody handle this type of situation like she handled on this show. All right, so that was so interesting to watch, just her character alone. Let me say this: the girl that plays Sally, Sarah Goldberg, fantastic actress. All right, just a great actress. She's grown. Her skills have grown within this season, within this whole series. Matter of fact, at first I was annoyed by her, but now I'm impressed. I'm impressed that she actually pulled off what she was able to pull off. Also, she's not that great of a mother. All right. And she was able to act that out as well. She just became this horrible, something that her mother probably wasn't even. All right. She probably was a worse mother than her own mother at this point. She just given up and became the character that she was acting the whole time. All right. Negatives. This show took way too long to let the action kick in. All right. There was a lot of drama and just meeting back up with old characters and seeing where everybody's at this point going on within the beginning of the episode. No action really went down, I want to say, until at least the fourth episode. Honestly. So it made the whole experience kind of drag for me. Like, it was really slow with the pace. Really slow. And, with the other seasons, that action, it didn't take that long. It didn't take that long. Then when the action kicked in, it wasn't like the other seasons. The other seasons had scenes that were just phenomenal with the action and the camera shots and how they got the scenes in there and the things they were doing within the fight scenes and the battles and whatever they were going through. It was so good at mixing that dark humor with that action that those deserve some Emmys that they haven't won it yet. If they haven't won any awards for that, they need it. But this season, it's nothing to be shocked about. It's just your typical shootouts and a couple of punches and swings here. Now I will go back to Sally. as a character. There's a scene where she's in the house with her son, and she's got to protect her son. And once again, it was phenomenal. Let's just say the whole trailer was moving. There was so much going on. The entire trailer home was moving. Okay, that scene was crazy. She had a lot to do with the interest to the show, as far as the last season. I ain't gonna lie. Another negative: the unexpected time skip. Okay. Spoiler alert again. Spoiler alert again. All right. Here we go. After a certain episode, Barry was able to get out of prison. I'm not going to say how that went down or how that happened, but he's now out of prison again. All right. And he's consulted with his girlfriend, and they are on the run. Okay. They're out hiding, like I said, in the desert part. While they're out hiding and doing what they do, a time skip immediately happens. And it's a bit confusing because I don't understand if this is a flashback or what's going on. But it was a time skip. It was really going on. I thought it was like a vision or a dream. It felt like a dream. Like, okay, this is one episode. They're going to go into the future of what could happen, and then they're going to go back to the normal stuff they always do. No, that was it. That's where the show was going. It went into the future, and it stayed in the future. About 8 years. Matter of fact. All right, and I didn't expect that, and I just didn't like that. I don't like how they did that. All right, you could have at least explained a little bit of what happened within those 8 years. A little bit. Showed us something that, not like that. Don't do it like that. All right? Because everything is sped up and we don't know what's going on. And at least end this season out and then do a time skip. End this season out within the 8 years that they had, and then time skip to what they're doing now or in the future for the next season. And that could have been the last season. But the way they did it, it just it kind of pushed you into the final season finale feel, and you're not really there yet, but you gotta be forced to be in it. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that forceful act that they put up on me. All right. I don't like that. Time skips, sometimes that's not a good choice for movies or shows. It's all on how you do it. And they did not do that right. Another negative. I was completely disappointed in Soho Hank's character development. Throughout the show, yes, he was always seen as the weak one. Right, and so he's been confronted with that plenty of times. All right, and within this season, he started to toughen up. It seemed like he was toughening up, but unfortunately, he just didn't smarten up. He was tough, but he wasn't smarter, and it led to some other events happening that I will not mention. All right, no more spoiler alerts. I'm not going to mention what else happened, but it just, I had another idea for him, how he would end out. I had another idea altogether on how it was going to go, how his character needed to be fleshed out through the season, and it didn't happen. I'm disappointed with that. All right. Last negative. I predicted the end of this show, but not in the way that they did it. Okay. It should have ended in a certain way. And after it ended that way, something else should have happened. But they decided to go a whole nother level with it. But I got to give this an I cool. Yes, an I cool. It's just that ending didn't fit me right. It didn't suit me. It didn't suit me well. Press that like button. Share. You better subscribe.